Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for Friday, February 26, 2016, around 8:13 in the evening in Billerica, Massachusetts. It was windy out today. Had to reset my router for the computer a couple of times today because it was so windy and it knocked it out. So I unplugged it and put it back in. Some news to report. This is going to be a little bit of a long news segment because I haven't did a video blog in 12 hours. And here's some of the news. The Chicago Cubs signed Shane Victorino, outfielder, to a minor league contract. And also, Tavern in the Square is rumored to be going to the Cross Point Tower in Lowell, Massachusetts. This is a good that if Tavern in the Square going to Lowell, because Lowell doesn't have too many upscale restaurants. And I hope in the near future that somehow Lowell gets a Hooters, because that would be a perfect location for Hooters to go to in Lowell, but there's not too many available spaces there. Also, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie has endorsed Donald Trump for the GOP nominee of President of the United States. Donald Trump has 73% shot of winning the nomination, and that's very, very good odds. When Super Tuesday's all said and done, I bet the odds will probably go over 75%. He's going to be the nominee, everybody. Even though many people dislike him, there's no stopping him. And I'm getting in the mail a lot of political flyers about vote for Hillary Clinton and vote for Bernie Sanders. I just put them in a recycling bin. I know who I'm voting for. I'm not saying. And sad news to report in the world of hockey. Hockey Hall of Famer Andy Bathgate, who played his majority of his career with the New York Rangers, passed away at the age of 83. Andy had one of the most famous slap shots in NHL history. And there's been a rumor going around, if the Tampa Bay Lightning cannot sign their captain Steven Stamkos to a long-term extension contract, and at the trading deadline he is going to get traded, and one of the destinations is New York Rangers. If that happens, it could mean the Rangers could be a favorite to win the Stanley Cup. And that's about it on news. A little bit of a long news segment. My third and final video blog subject of the night is about the apter magazines, which include The Wrestler, Inside Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, Sports Review Wrestling, Wrestling Superstars, among others. These were called the apter magazines because for many, many years, Bill Apter, a famous wrestling journalist, was the editor-in-chief of all of these magazines. Actually, the Apter magazine started back in 1968 when The Wrestler and Inside Wrestling came out, and the founder of it was Stanley Weston. Bill Apter joined these magazines to write in the early 70s, and they became real popular. They would cover a lot of wrestling from all corners of the country, and for many years fans could get to know the wrestlers from the other territories because they didn't see these wrestlers from the WWF or Mid-Atlantic or Florida or AWA or any other regional territory. And most of these stories in The Wrestler and Inside Wrestling were kayfabe. They didn't mention their real names and stuff. They stuck to the storylines, and they got real popular. And in 1972, they started a new magazine called Sports Review Wrestling, and also they started a like achievement awards, which were like for Rookie of the Year, Most Improved Wrestler, Tag Team of the Year, Match of the Year, Manager of the Year, Most Popular Wrestler, Most Hated Wrestler, Feud of the Year, Comeback of the Year, and Wrestler of the Year. First, they had special Victory Sports annuals on the awards, and then it went to Sports Review Wrestling. By 1982, went to PWI. In like 1977, they had a new magazine, the App Magazine's Wrestling Superstars. All of these magazines were bestsellers. And in 1979, the most famous of the apter magazines came out, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, which blew the lid off the cover of Pro Wrestling, what they said. It became the best-selling pro wrestling magazine across the country, and they had a lot of great segments there, which included the press conference and like close-up and arena results and the PWI centerfold. Other writers for the app magazines included Dan Shockton, who was favored the rule breakers, or they call the heels, Matt Brock, but he was a fictionist writer. There's no such person by the name of Matt Brock who wrote his real. It was a fictionist writer. Liz Hunter, another fictionist writer. Craig Peters, Stu Stacks, Dave Rosenblum, and a few other articles in like the app mags over the years were Hot Seat for Inside Wrestling, the Q&A. They had a thumbs up, thumbs down for the wrestler, and they had Dream Match for Wrestling Superstars. They were all dream matches against wrestlers from other promotions, which was pretty interesting. By 1983, they had another magazine called Wrestling 83, which eventually went from Wrestling 83 to Wrestling 92. And in 1992, the app magazines discontinued Sports Review Wrestling, and it got converted to Wrestle America. And it was also in 1992 that Pro Wrestling Illustrated went full color, and the app magazines still sold pretty good well into the 90s. But for a while, they brought back Sports Review Wrestling for a little while, but they discontinued it in 1996 along with Wrestling Superstars. But they brought Wrestling Superstars back in 1997, and the app magazines were selling pretty good until 1999 when Bill Apter went to a new magazine called Well, which was actually broke kayfabe, and it was smart. So Bill Apter left his app mags, and after that, the magazines just went down in sales due to the internet, and they folded a lot of them, including Wrestle America, Wrestling Superstars. They reduced the number of issues of the Wrestler and Inside Wrestling to 6 a year. Eventually they combined those magazines bi-monthly. Pro Wrestling Illustrated was still around. Other features they had in Pro Wrestling Illustrated were the PWI Top 500, which started in 1991, which is a bestseller, one of the most popular sellers of the year. And Pro Wrestling Illustrated is still around, but it's only published 6 times a year, and it's kind of sad, but the internet's taken over, and I used to buy old app magazines when I was younger because it was good to get these information and about the other wrestling organizations, even though they were a month behind. But it was good to see some of these wrestlers that I've never even heard of, and some territories I never even heard of at all. And they still, I still see Pro Wrestling Illustrated sold at a couple of stores here and there, but I don't buy it anymore. It's a shell of its former self, and I would not be surprised within the next couple of years Pro Wrestling Illustrated ends its print magazine and just goes to online only. That's what eventually all the magazines are going to do. They discontinued the Wrestling and Inside Wrestling in 2013. Bill Apter was a great writer. He runs OneWrestling.com now, and he has a book, Is Wrestling Fixed? I didn't think it was broke. And that's about it on that. I will be back tomorrow, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google Plus with 3 more video blogs. First video blog of the day will be about the top 10 greatest sports athletes in the history of Cincinnati pro sports. Second video blog will be about the Sporting News Radio. And the third and final video blog of the night will be about the MBTA bus route 439 that goes from Wonderland to Nahat. And lots of great stuff coming up on the days, months, weeks, and years ahead. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Bunning guy. Molly Rose Blood of WCCO. Roxanne has nice legs. Elizabeth Hart, so stunning. She's the best. And Amy Swansea, so awesome. And in the words of Sean Luchan, get out! Don't forget Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google Plus. Questions, comments, concerns, shoutouts, plugs. March 22nd is the second Ask Rich blog video, so send your questions in right now. I have a couple already, but I want more. It could be a monthly feature. Bye now.